In this video, I'm giving my tote bag a much needed makeover. This bag has been through everything with me. Errands, lectures, market runs, and now it's begging for retirement. I should probably just get rid of it, but where is the fun in that? What if I can bring it back to life? What if I can make it look like something straight out of Pinterest? Yes, sounds like an actual plan to me. But the real question is, will I actually pull this off? Alright, here's the plan. I'm going to add eyelets with crisscross shoelace style. 2 granny square at the base with cherry appliques because why not? A 3D crochet butterfly at the top for drama. Crochet ruffles for the hand. And to really push this over the edge, a crochet jellyfish as the back charm, because nothing says I have my life together like a jellyfish hanging from your toes. But here is the thing. What colors do I use? I know I want white as the base color, so 2 white granny squares, check. Red for the cherry, definitely we have to stay classic. And green for the leaves, obvious choice. But for the jellyfish and butterfly, I'm quite uncertain. Let's say pink, yellow and white for the butterfly, or should I mix in something else? And for the jellyfish, white with a little bit of pink. I hope this works out. I really don't want the bag looking like a rainbow tree up on it or something. Now that the planning is done, let's head to the market and get some supplies. I will need to buy a shoelace, some yarn to add to the ones I already have, and I will add the eyelets on the bag at the market because I don't have the equipment to add it at home. So I'm going to be very honest with you. Even though I was on a tight budget, I spent more than I wanted to. I bought 3 white yarn, 1 blue, some beads. I also bought some dye because I believed the bag might need more than just crochet appliques attached to it. I got 2 pairs of shoelace, then I bought a white thread and I got some buttons. For the bag, I added 12 silver eyelets on one side and 12 gold on the other side. Alright, it's time to test my patience. Oh, sorry, I meant to say it's time for the fun part. Let's get crocheting. I decided to start with the cherry appliques because they're very easy to make and works up easily. By the way, I recently posted a tutorial on my channel on how to crochet cherry earrings, so please check that out. I made just a few adjustments to my earring patterns to be able to get the size of cherry I wanted. So I made 2 cherry balls and I crocheted the stem. Attaching the cherry balls to the leaves was quite the therapeutic process. I used my darning needle to do so, and ooh la la, my cherry balls were ready. And it was time to move on to the next part, which was crocheting the granny squares. For the granny squares, I changed my hook size to a 5mm crochet hook. I doubled up my yarn and made the granny squares using the basic granny stitch, which involves making a magic ring and entering 3 double crochets in pairs into 4 places. I see you and I see the side eye you are giving me. I know the little explanation I just gave right now doesn't make any sense, but life doesn't always make sense and we still move on. So I humbly suggest we move on. I chose white, yellow, pink and blue for my jellyfish. I wanted it to be as vibrant as ever. Making this jellyfish took me 5 hours, even though I chose a very simple pattern for it. I started with a magic ring and crochet 6 single crochet stitches into the ring, and in the next row I did increases until I got the size of circle I needed and stopped doing increases and just crocheted normally. I graded my color from white to blue, and when I discovered that the white paired very well with the blue and it was aesthetically pleasing to look at, very calming to look at, I decided not to add the yellow and the pink anymore. When I finished crocheting the head of the jellyfish, which is the part that looks like a cup, I made a smaller circle and attached the two of them together, leaving a small space. Then I stuffed it up with my scrap yarn to give it shape. I checked to make sure it wasn't overstuffed or understuffed before stitching it closed. Adding ruffles is very essential for this to look like a jellyfish, so I added ruffles into it by crocheting 3 double crochet stitches in the same stitch and repeated that until I got to the end of the row. I made my swirls by chaining 30 and working 3 single crochet stitches into the second chain from the hook and repeated that until I got to the end of the row. I attached the swirls to the head randomly using my darning needle. By the time I was done attaching the swirls to this jellyfish, I was smitten. I was fully in love. This has to be the cutest jellyfish I've ever seen. I can't wait to see how it all works out to the bag. I can't wait. I had never seen anything more aesthetically pleasing to look at, so I decided to hang it up on my wall while I made other things for the bag. I crocheted a small 3D butterfly using pink, yellow, and white. Then I crocheted a bigger butterfly using pink, yellow, and white, but removed the white part at the last minute and made it entirely yellow. Yes, it's time for the most exciting part. I have waited so long for this. I also know you've been looking forward to this part too. To make sure that replicating the design I drew on paper on the bag would not give me the vibe of what I ordered versus what I got, I decided to lace the bag first. Then I attached the appliques to the bag using safety pins. Do you have trust issues? I hear you ask. The answer is definitely no, but this is my first time drawing out a design on paper and trying to replicate it. So I wanted to see if the design would be as good as it is in my imagination when I put it on the bag. So that was why I used the safety pin. And believe me, I wasn't expecting to like this bag. You'll hear my reason in a minute. I'm going to be very honest with you. This was supposed to be the climax of the video, where I finished adding the details to the bag and find out that I don't like it at all, and then I go on and do other things and bring a bag that wows you guys. But then I love this bag. The only issue I have is that I don't know any way I can put this jellyfish, and it doesn't fit in any part of the bag, and it's actually heavy. It's too heavy to be a bag charm. I can't really say that I am satisfied with what it looks like, but I have a second design that I drew. I changed the pattern in which I arranged the squares. Which one is better? I removed the jellyfish, so it's simpler like this, but it doesn't exactly give that vibe of being straight out of Pinterest. Finally, here's your chance. Go to that comment section and tell me what you think so far. Now it's time to decide what to do for the other side of the bag. So the idea I have for this side of the bag is that I am going to make 3 granny squares for the base with maybe ice cream appliques instead of the cherries I have for this side. I'll make ice cream instead and see what that looks like. Maybe here I can finally put the jellyfish, or maybe put the butterfly or something. But this side has to be good. You can see the contrast, like this side looks very off and then this side is just, oh my god. So I added shoelace to this side, and after much deliberation I decided that I am going to leave this side as simple as it is like this. I'm going to leave it looking this simple. Just for days that I decide not to carry the other front part of the bag, this part of the bag, I can carry this other side of the bag. But if you look at this bag closely, you'll notice something. The bag is faded. You can't even notice the blue of the bag anymore. So I bought some dye at the market the other day. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to go ahead and dye the bag and then wash the granny squares to straighten it to make it more flat. I've forgotten the term they use for it. After that, I will attach it to the bag and the bag will be a finished product. While I waited for the bag and granny squares to dry, I decided to crochet a monarch butterfly and another jellyfish. I'm using a voiceover here because my neighbors chose the very good time I decided to do a video as their own auspicious time to cut down trees. Well, life can be crazy that way. So I decided to start with the monarch butterfly, and since I don't know how to make it and I saw it on Pinterest and I wanted to make one, so I went on YouTube and there's this tutorial I saw that is 3 hours long. Actually, it's in 2 parts. The first one is 1 hour something minutes, and then the second one is 2 hours long to make a monarch butterfly, and that is what I'm subjecting myself to. Okay. Making this butterfly had me questioning my life choices, but I knew it would be worth it in the end. So I'm going to leave the link to the tutorial I used in the description box because you would want to make this butterfly. I have never seen anything as cute as this monarch butterfly. I am done making the monarch butterfly. Look at this. And I also made the jellyfish. The bag is dry too. But between the monarch butterfly and the jellyfish that I made, I feel like I am in love with the butterfly. The jellyfish, I could have done better with the color. It looks like yam with red oil. You know how when red oil touches white yam, the way it looks, that's the way this jellyfish looks, and it just looks weird. I don't think it's going to go well with the bag, but this butterfly looks very realistic and I am in love. So I'm supposed to go ahead and add the details to the bag, but because after washing the bag became very rumpled and I need to iron it, I can't go ahead to add the details. And I'm supposed to iron it right now and just add the details, but we don't have light and I'll have to wait for Nipa to bring light. So while I'm waiting for Nipa to bring light, I will add the ruffles I plan to add on the handle. Anyway, what do you think of the bag? It looks more purple than blue, or maybe it looks different on camera, but if you're looking at it in real life, it looks more purple than blue. And yesterday, after I dyed it and spread it, when it got dry, I brought it out and I didn't like the color. It looked worse off than it looked before I dyed it. So I had to soak it in water with detergent and I washed it as many times as possible, and I was able to wash off most of the dye. And I'm glad I actually did that, because if I add the white granny square to it and I do my laundry with all those dye that I washed out yesterday, it's going to turn the granny square to something that I used to be white. Now I'm no longer white. But I'm glad I washed out most of the dye, though not all of them are gone, but the color right now looks different and I like it too. It looks better. So to add the ruffles to the hand, I have to first of all make single crochet stitches that I will make the ruffles on. But working the single crochet stitches, I don't exactly like what it looks like. I don't like how it looks on the bag, and I feel like leaving the handle the way it is better than adding the ruffles. So I'm just going to stick to that part. So it's around 11 p.m. now and NEPA just brought lights. So I am going to iron the bag and then add the details to it because I don't know whether there will be lights in the morning, so I have to do it this night. So I've decided to use my glue gun to gum the granny squares to the bag. I like the idea of sewing it into the bag, but it's quite difficult and I don't have that much patience. Alright, the bag is done and I have never been more proud of a project. Damn, this is just so cute. So the granny squares, I added it to the bag using hot glue and I sewed in the cherry to the bag. For the butterflies, I added them using safety pins because there are days I wouldn't want to have a butterfly thing going on, so I'll just take them out and go with this. Then for this other side of the bag, I don't know if this, what is this called again? I don't know if this jellyfish found its spot on this bag in this place, but I am glad for this butterfly that I added here. It's just so cute, and I added it with safety pin just in case there is any day I want to just go with the shoelace without the extra added stuff. I'll take them out. But overall, I'm really proud of this bag. One thing I don't like about the bag is that the bag looks more purple now than blue. I wish I had not dyed the bag. I wish I had left it the way it was before. But I am so proud of this creation. So does it look like it came out of Pinterest? I'd like you to let me know in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.